everybody that's has tried to scale a maximized conversion value bidding strategy with target return on ad spend knows is pretty much impossible. Why would you choose maximized conversion value over maximized conversions? Two main points. Google, can you make a sale? Yeah, I'm pretty good at making a sale. Okay, cool. Ignore all the bad sales stuff. Whoa, crap. Sometimes you can accidentally shoot yourself in the foot. So the maximized conversion value with a target return on ad spend does an even harder lock into a finite audience than maximized conversions at a target cost per acquisition. And just have it scale to the moon immediately is the reasons why we exist as an agency. Google knows exactly where everyone's going at all times. Talking about maximized conversion value, this is a bit different. Maximized conversion value takes a lot of the same traits as maximized conversions does, but the weighting system internally at Google gives more weight to the size of the conversion rather than if a conversion came in. Still an audience-based bidding strategy, still going after people, still less focused on keywords, but there's an added layer of complexity that we've just given Google, which sometimes is good and sometimes is a bad thing. And what I mean by that is when you have a maximized conversion value bidding strategy rather than a maximized conversion bidding strategy, sometimes you can accidentally shoot yourself in the foot. What I mean by that is, for example, let's say we're spending $20 a day. And Google sees that you have a product list that is varying between $10 and $300 in price. Google's going to say, well, I saw a $20 conversion come in and I've been spending $20 a day. Awesome, I made 100% ROAS. And then it starts to see more $100 conversions coming in. Okay, it's going to start to go after those people. Well, now what's your average order value that day? If you have 5 $20 sales and 5 $100 sales, 60-ish is where you're going to land. So you're going to land around the $60 average order value. Well, what that do? That just gave you a 300% ROAS automatically. Google is trying to get more higher purchase conversions based on the common denominators of those people who are purchasing higher items. It's not keyword based again. It's person based. Are they looking at these products? How long have they been looking at these products? Have they been looking at competitor websites? Google sees everything. That's why analytics was invented. Google sees where people are going. Same with Tag Manager. Google knows exactly where everyone's going at all times. All they did is just build a predictability model. That's why keywords are less focused on it. It's more about the bidding strategy. But what we're doing is we're identifying what is a good value of the conversion when we're talking about maximized conversion value. Now let's add a little more complexity to the scenario. We have a $200 purchase come in, and Google's going to say, well, start to ignore those $20 sales. Let's start going after $100 and $200 sales. Why? I'm maximizing the conversion value. I will sacrifice 5 sales for 2 big sales. Aha. So if it's sacrificing 5 smaller sales for 2 bigger sales, yes, you did make more money, but your conversions went down. Your conversion rate went down. Your volume is possibly going down. Your daily ad spend is not being spent. Why? Well, because you asked Google to go after a harder objective. Google, can you make a sale? Yeah, I'm pretty good at making a sale. Okay, cool. Ignore all the bad sales stuff. Whoa, crap. Now it's like, okay, and now make me sales and make me big sales. That's what maximized conversion value is. So if you see that the bigger purchases are less frequent, sometimes you can't scale out of it. Sometimes you can. Again, situational based, but understand that Google is going to try to get rid of the small purchases that are happening at high frequency. Well, that's not that great though, because what you're doing is you're throwing out lower sales that are equalizing the higher sales. You have a $20 sale, you have a $200 sale. Great, now your average order value is $100. That's good, especially if you're spending $20 a day. That's a 5x return. Why would you want to get rid of those $20 sales that are increasing your conversions, increase your conversion rate? Now we have to talk about, this is going to be a different classroom topic, but it's a LTV. Those $20 sales are turning into what over time? Well, a $20 sale can turn into a $200 sale. That can turn into 5 $200 sales over the course of a year. Would you want to throw them out because you're focusing on only on higher sales? Potentially. If the repeat rate's nothing and they're never going to buy again, then yeah, then maybe you have to focus on those high sales. But it's always going to be set by the goal of what the client needs. If the client needs high amount of sales and at least an average order value that's decent, don't use maximize conversion value, because you're going to toss out the 10 additional sales that could have turned into bigger sales that could have returned later on for the sake of getting fewer higher dollar sales. Now, there's a caveat though to this. Maximize conversion value is what they call a VBB, a value-based bidding strategy. So value-based bidding strategies allow us to focus on new customer acquisition more often. You cannot do that, maximize conversions. So you can actually take a value-based bidding strategy and say, we were actually, well, let me just do this. Let me cancel this to see if this is on maximize conversion value. You can actually, wait, this one's a search. Oh, I had it in here before. We had a search for new customers. Anyway, oh no, that was a different campaign. It was. Quick side note, you're going to be able to use new customer only in search. It's just not available there. But if you're using a performance max where you can focus on paying more for customers who spend more, that's something that you can use instead of maximize conversion value. Is if it was a new customer versus returning customer, if the new customers are spending more, it will start to get more newer customers. I've been using it for a while, and that's been helpful. But again, you need high volume. You need to have an accurate list. You need to upload your list to Google, and you need to select it in your settings and conversions for it to actually work well. You can't just rely on tag. It's too inaccurate. So with the maximize conversion value, why would you choose maximize conversion value over maximize conversions? Two main points. One, client doesn't have LTV. People are one and done. They need to make a high ROAS. Good. Maximize conversion value works. Where else does maximize conversions choose better than maximize conversions? Well, maximize conversion value will allow you to go after more newer customers over a longer period of time.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I need to remind you that I'm always looking for people to join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you want to work with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, please go to so8.com/apply. Speaking of working with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, if you're having trouble with Google Ads and you want professional help, that's what we do. You can go to so8.com, that's SOL8.com, to apply for your free, no obligation action plan. And if I've given you any level of value at all, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. That's how we juice the YouTube algorithm so they actually know that I know what I'm talking about. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or confessions, hit me below in the comments. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Can't do that with maximize conversions. So that's good. So this is, hey, I'm okay with getting a little bit less volume if I'm making more profit per sale. You can still scale up maximize conversion value. Now, let's do TROAS. TROAS is even harder. So maximize conversion value is already harder to maximize conversions because they're asking for bigger sales. But then maximize conversion value with a target return on ad spend is even harder than maximize conversion value, which is already hard. Now we're asking Google, spend only the amount of money for a big enough sale to triple my return on that ad spend. That is a very, very difficult thing to Google to not only do consistently, but also scale. Everybody that's has tried to scale a maximize conversion value bidding strategy with target return on ad spend knows is pretty much impossible. You're going to hit that point of diminishing returns you will never break out of. It just won't happen. So the reason why you can't just set $1 million per day budget with a 500% return on ad spend and just have it scale to the moon immediately is the reasons why we exist as an agency. You can't just set a 500% return at $1,000, a minute. We wouldn't all be here. We'd all be selling, socks and making millions because that'd be something that would be easy. So the maximize conversion value with a target return on ad spend does an even harder lock into a finite audience than maximize conversions at a target cost per acquisition. Because now what you tell Google is, okay, remember our 100 person example. Let me take a sip of water here. I've been talking for like 20 minutes. Now, With the maximized conversion value with a target ROAS, it says, okay, Google, you have 100 people that you think are going to convert. Yes. Who's going to have a high sale? Well, that'll be 70 of those 100 people. Now, who's going to have a high enough sale that's going to be quick enough that I'm not going to have to spend a whole bunch of money on that's going to convert today? 30 of those. Okay, so now we've taken 100 people, whittled it down to 60, whittled it down to 30. Can't scale that. And that's going to decay faster unless there's high amounts of bottom of the funnel traffic that we know are going to convert immediately all day long. And they're growing. That's rare. So what you're doing is you're locking it into even a harder audience that may convert even less often, but your ROAS is going to be amazing. And that's why we see our daily ad spend go from $500 a day to like 80. It's like, well, oh my gosh, I turned on maximize conversion value and I said target TROAS of 300%. And Google said, cool, I got 12 people left over. We whittled it down to 12. Once those 12 are gone, then it's done. Like you have to restart this whole process. Now there's ways to expand that audience though. You can set a target return on ad spend that's not as aggressive. Like if you need a 300% return, you can set a 200 ROAS goal and you can be very profitable at 300%. Well, wait a minute. How did you just said you could set a target return on ad spend of 200% and get a consistent 300%? Yes. The reason being is that you're going to get 200% sales or a 200% ROAS sale. You're also going to get a 400% ROAS sale. What did that average out to? 300%. You have to take the law of averages. If I have a little bit of low, a little bit high, I balance out to where I want. So if you need a campaign, for example, to hit a 300% return on ad spend, sometimes you can nail it by hitting 180 or 220. That's the target return on ad spend. This one here, I need 150%. So I set it at 100. I need to just simply break even. I don't even know what this is doing. Search ACK. I don't even know what this is even doing. Let's just see. There's too many campaigns here. Oh yeah, we have 68% is not even spending. This one is the search campaign though that I've already. This one's an Australian company. This is a bad example, or an Australian brand. But let's do this. So where do I have a TCPA on? This is the UK one, 118%. I don't even know what my bidding strategy is. Yeah, 100. So I'm asking it to get 100. It's getting 118 this last week. Okay, so it can get higher. So it doesn't stop it from going higher. It just means get me at least. So when you say get me at least, A, is there high volume? B, is it still falling above that goal? So you set a goal lower than what you need. If I need a 150, I'm getting 118 because I set it at 100. I'm above my average. Take into consideration all my campaigns though, and I'm getting a 171. Still above goal. But I'm keeping volume high. And that's how in this last 30 days, we made 473K and spent 275K. That's because I'm above that goal, but I have some campaigns that are giving me volume, giving me ROAS, or sorry, giving me sales. They're not coming in at high enough ROAS, so I'm not spending that much money on them. But I can get a 96 here and still spend, I don't know, $2,500 because I made an additional 59 sales that boost that 8,000 sale number. And I'm still above my average. Use TCPA to your advantage, or sorry, TROAS to your advantage. But know that that's not scalable. And that's going to die off, and you're going to have to restart that process. So that's how that's how maximize conversion value with a TROAS works. It's a very, very difficult bidding strategy for Google to use.
I want to talk to you about the psychology of Google Ads. I think a lot of Google Ads managers tend to focus way too much on the button pushing, so the tactical implementation, and not nearly enough